Till the moment I'm gone.
My dad came over in 1972, I believe. My mom came over probably 70, I want to say 76. My dad came over first, and my mom came over second. They didn't know each other. But when my mom came over, well, when my mom's family came over, because she came over as a family, my dad came by himself. When they came, they had a restaurant over in St. Francis Square called Piccolo's, and I guess no, it doesn't have anything to do with Dragon Ball. No green men in that restaurant. But they had a restaurant in St. Francis Square, served Filipino food, burgers, because they had a restaurant in the Philippines called Piccolo's as well, and they were pretty famous for their burger. We call it Piccolo Burger, but people liked it. I am not so much, but so they were pretty famous for that, and the reason why my mom's family had to come over was because of martial law in the Philippines. Aside from having that restaurant, my grandfather was one of the people in charge of a steel mill in the Philippines. And during martial law, the president seized all of the industries in the Philippines. So they pretty much blacklisted my grandfather. See, well, my mom came over because there was a reason, because of martial law. My dad came over just because.
Just because he wanted to become
he got his visa, his degree in mechanical engineering, and he was like just chilling one day, and some of his friends from the university were like, "Hey, we're gonna go to
the U.S.
We're gonna go get our visa so we can go to the United States because there are opportunities there. Do you want to come?" He was like, "I don't know, like because I probably can get a decent job here." And they're like, "Come on, man, let's just go." And he said, "All right." So just kind of like, just because his friends were going, he went. Made the decision to go, and he went. That's how my dad rolled, I guess. Then he came over, and he was supposed to go to Washington D.C. At first, but he came and flew into L.A. because he knew some people in L.A. And then he went. He did go to Washington D.C., but then he came back to L.A. and he was there for a while, because he was helping out some people that he knew. And then eventually he settled in San Francisco, Daly City area. I would say my mom's family had to give up a lot because from their background, like they're pretty well off. A lot of people would say that there aren't too many middle class people in the Philippines, but arguably my mom's family would have been considered kind of middle upper class. Her and her sisters were going to schools with like people that eventually became politicians, presidents, movie stars, whatever. So like they're pretty well off. So they gave up a lot. I mean, they were considered like middle upper class, and then they come to America, they have like practically nothing. Then my dad, money wise, he didn't really go up a lot because he just kind of just made the decision to go, and he went. He had 4 or 5 brothers, along with his parents and grandparents and whatnot. So him moving to America, because he came to America just by himself. So that probably is pretty hard for him. As far as like my dad's family goes, not many of his relatives are here in America. I mean, I have he has like 2 cousins in Florida. He has like a cousin in Boston, and one of his brothers moved to Texas. And that's about it.
But as far as his other siblings and his parents, they stayed in the Philippines?
Yeah. One of his brothers moved to Australia. And aside from that, his family is just all in the Philippines. Well, with my mom, her aunt lived here in California. So I guess that's the reason why they chose California. My dad, he bounced around from like LA and San Francisco a lot. I think it's like, you know, wherever there was work, he went. I know some of the places he's worked were like Lockheed Martin, which is like an airplane company, or like NASA. So pretty much if there's an opening, he'd go. So he didn't really have any expectations. He was just, you know, hard worker.